Hello and welcome to this Global Azure 2024 session as part of being hosted by Gimme Cloud Talks and Captain Hyperscaler. I am your moderator, Dwayne Natwick. We have with us the second session of Harshavardhan's on building and deploying serverless web applications with Microsoft Azure and Azure Static Web Apps. I'm looking forward to seeing this one. He did a great session on AI as well for this event. If you're not familiar with Global Azure is a global event by the community for the community. There are hundreds of sessions going on by user groups around the world, and Gimme Cloud Talks is just one of them. Feel free to go to globalazure.net. Or go to gimmecloudtalks.github.io to access the Gimme Cloud Talk sessions, but you can access all the sessions, all the user groups have links on the globalazure.net site. So without further delay, I will turn it over to our speaker. Thank you very much and have a great session.
Thank you. So let's begin today with our another session, which will be on how we can actually use Azure and Azure Static Web Apps to build and deploy serverless web application. Now, I already think you already know who am I with the last session, but a short intro. I'm the founder of DevWorld, GitHub Campus expert, Microsoft certified AI engineer and data scientist, SD consultant at Unstop, and an ex-intern at Geeks for Geeks, Prep for Tech and Coding Minutes. I'm 6 times Microsoft certified, and you have my Twitter and LinkedIn handles. So, what are we going to learn today? What is cloud computing? Future that cloud computing holds for us. What is actually Azure Static Web Apps? Have some hands-on. Like, have you seen in my last session? I usually like to have some hands-on, like some place where you can actually build practically what we have learned today. So we'll be deploying a website, which I'll be showing you to just right now. But before that, what you need for today is your subscription. It's the link directs you to GitHub Student Webpack, which is just for students, but for professionals also you can get it at Azure subscriptions. Please scan this QR code if you are a student and you can avail lots of benefits that holds for you. Just like SpongeBob is doing hooray, you can also do one. So just scan it. I'm just keeping it for a second. So this will unlock tons of benefit for you. And what is cloud computing? Can computers fly now? Let's explore. So what is exactly cloud computing that we are talking about? If you just see the definition, it says cloud computing is the delivery of computing services over the internet to offer faster innovation, flexible resources, and economics of scale. But you might say, all right, but what do I mean by it? It's like if you say in simple terms, if you break the whole sentence, you get it. It's like delivering the computing services over the internet. So it's like you are delivering, let's say, storage, you are delivering network, you are delivering virtual machines, databases, everything that you can imagine of, which are including the computing services through the internet. So anyone who has the internet can access it. This allows faster innovation, flexible and of scale. And it has a bike service, which is on lease, that is pay as you go. But what is it? It's too technical. Can I understand in a much better manner? Yeah, my session is all about that, as you already know. So let's see with an example. But before that, so I am saying that, okay, cloud computing is not that fluffy white thing which we see in the sky. No, it's not. It's something else. It's not actually that fluffy thing that you see in the sky. It's not actually that cloud, it's something else. Let's understand with an example. So first of all, how many of you like are actually a person who are latecomers? Like who do the things at the last moment? I am one. And therefore this example relates with me. But you can relate it by imagine if you are a punctual person. Yeah. Okay. So as usual, there's a birthday party and I'm not ready for it. And it's a theme birthday party. So it has a particular theme and I need that particular dress. But as usual, I'm stuck with my work and I couldn't get that particular, let's say, suit which I needed for that particular party. Let's say it's Harry Potter theme party and I didn't get that Harry Potter suit. I'm in a hurry. What should I do? I have two options. One is going to the store, purchase that Harry Potter themed suit, get it at my home, get ready, wear it, and done. Or second thing is go to a rental store, get the item, use it, and then return it. Okay. So let's see the second option. I go to the rental store, I get ready, and when my work is done, I return it. So I am billed based on the time I've used it, which will be obviously very, very less compared to when I would purchase that particular suit. Now, just tell me what are the benefits that I got? One, I got it at very less price, which is absolutely true. Second, I got that particular item for just period of time when I need to use it. So it's not taking up my space in my cupboard. It's not taking maintenance, like I don't need to maintain it. Third, I will always get the latest thing out there. I don't need to just keep it and then again think about reusing it in the future. Whenever latest design comes in, I can get it again through the rental store. The rental store needs to update it. So I got a lot of benefit, right? So rental store model works really very good in all these cases. Similarly, cloud computing has the same thing to offer. How? Suppose there's an organization and they want to purchase any of the things, let's say database, networks, AI models, virtual machine, then your storage, anything that you can imagine of. Now, you go to the cloud provider, like you went to the rental store, ask them for the IT infrastructure that you need, and they give it to you. And when your work is done, you return it to them. And you are billed based on the time that you have used it. And that's absolutely pay as you go. You are paying as you are using it. That's it. So now you're good understood, like you can understand that, okay, this is what cloud computing is. And therefore comes the definition. It is the way different resources and services are delivered through the internet. So in the case of rental store, it's delivered through a person. In our case, it's delivered through the internet and it gives you resources and services. Now, these are some of the stats which you can refer to if in case you're thinking, why am I learning cloud computing in the first place? I can get that particular thing. Already I got you that, okay, there's a lot of benefits, but still, if you're not convinced, let's have a look at it. As you can see, the market has been growing rapidly. It has the report till 2022, but it shows that the market has been huge and it will be huge because of the benefits. But just think about when the moment your program crashes, but you have everything backed up in the cloud. You say thank you to Jesus, right? And that's what it goes. So, what it has to offer you flexible availability of resources. Whenever you need any resource, you have it at your fingertips. You don't have to think twice or thrice to get it, or get some storage, get some space, get some area for that particular server. You have it in the internet, and that doesn't take up space. It allows you to have faster innovation. Obviously, you have an idea. Now you don't have to think about going to that place, getting it, and getting lazy. You have it at your fingertips just through the internet. Get it, use it, build it, innovate, faster innovation, enhance security. Obviously, because most of the security part is handled by the service provider, which is, let's say, AWS, GCP, or Azure. They provide you with a lot of security features so that you do your work safely and securely. Scale economy in business. So it happens usually in businesses that suppose they are building something or they have built a very great website and they are receiving a lot of traffic. But if they are using on-premise, like if they have brought the servers, it becomes really very difficult to scale based on the demand. But if you're using cloud computing, it helps you scale very easily and economically because cloud computing has a lot to offer you, which is limitless and it reduces cost. As you saw in the example, instead of purchasing on-premise thing, which included maintenance, security, space, rental, and everything, you don't have to think about it. It comes absolutely free to you, as you can see, with the internet. So if you are getting it through the internet, you don't have to think about all of these things. So cost gone. Plus, if you're using pay as you go, so you're paying as you're using it. So even if something is idle, you're not using it, so you're not paying for it. That reduces cost a lot. So it helps you lower your cost. And these are some of the benefits that you can think of cloud computing. Now, interested in cloud computing? I hope. So we have Azure for you, which we'll be covering right now. But Dad, what are clouds made of? Now you can say Linux servers mostly to your child. Now, these are some basic stuff like you should obviously know about them so that you can understand which one to use. On premise, you need to take care of each and everything that you can see on the screen right here. When you get infrastructure as service, that is virtual machines, then you need to take care of the application, data storage, runtime, middleware OS, while virtualization server storage networking is taken care by the providers. Similarly, platform as a service. So the thing that we are going to learn today is your static web apps. In that case, even the OS middleware and runtime is taken care by the provider, while the application and the data storage is taken care by the platform as a service, uh, which is you. Next, software as a service. So the things that we use like Microsoft Outlook, then OneDrive, all of this you comes with all the things provided by the managers. You just use it based on your demand. Now you got to understand the cloud service model in basic. Like, I'm not going to in deep because we also need to cover Azure and Azure Static Web Apps. So let's move on. I wish it had homework as a service so we could use it. But okay, these are some of the examples. And now coming to Azure. So Azure is one of the cloud service provider. I should not say one of the, it's the second largest and the second most used after AWS. And it has been growing rapidly and personally, it's my favorite because of a few reasons. Let me show it to you practically. What are the big reasons? So if I go to Chrome and how you can access actually is going to portal.azure.com. So when you go to portal.azure.com, you are redirect like you get to the Azure portal. Now, what is Azure portal? Azure portal is the place where you can find all the services, all the resources that you need from your cloud service provider. And you can get it based on your subscription. Like uh, some services are free, some are paid, and based on your demand or your needs, you can get them. You just need an active Azure subscription. Now, You can see the portal out here. It looks pretty neat, and that's why I personally like it. Even there's an Azure mobile app through which you can manage each and everything, not each and everything, but most of the things like monitoring at your go. And next up, if you are confused like how to use it, you can just go to Copilot and you get it out there. So you can just go to Copilot and check it out, like interact with it just like you do with ChatGPT and ask like, I want to create this, what should I do? I want to do this, what should I do? As you can see out here. That's pretty cool. Next up, if you need a terminal, it's right there for you. If you just want to have a look at like your subscriptions, click on it and you will get it right now. So just for a second. So you can have a look at your services, at your subscriptions. If you want to have a look at more details, like you can click on it and get more details about your subscription. You can even like set up your payment methods, programmatic deployment, like if you want to deploy programmatically, if you want to check permissions, everything can be done over here so easily. Now, coming to the best part of it, it has OpenAI, so Azure OpenAI is there for you. Along with that, it has tons of resources that you can choose from. So if you just see categories are there, if you are just click on AI and machine learning, it has so many things that you can't like imagine. So anything that you want to innovate, you can get it from. So all of this is there, and this is all about Azure portal and how you can actually navigate through it. But coming to the more interesting part of today's session, that is Azure Static Web Apps. So let's go to Azure Static Web. Now, what is exactly Azure Static Web Apps? Azure Static Web Apps solves the hard problems of all the way from a source code to global availability. Now, what does it mean? It means you can deploy your websites using Azure Static Web App. So you have the source code, you have a website ready, and you want it to make it globally available. What do? You deploy it the website, and that's what you can do with Azure Static Web Apps. Now, Azure Static Web Apps allow you to deploy, get it from the name itself, Static Web Apps. And what's the best part? Whenever you make changes, it's integrated with GitHub Actions or Azure DevOps pipeline. So suppose you are making any changes, automatically, as you can see from the diagram, it takes the changes from the GitHub Actions or Azure DevOps pipeline. They run a flow, update the website, and shows it to you. Now, what can we actually render through static web apps? You can render static content, which is HTML, images, JavaScript, CSS. Or if you're using some API, you can use Azure Functions and integrate it. That's cool. But what's more? Now, if you're using, let's say, some optional APIs that's doing some of the tasks behind the scenes, you can again get them with the support of Azure Static Web Apps by going to the Azure Functions option. And that's pretty optional, but yes, if you need them, you can get it. And it has a great support behind in the backend. And you don't have to do much because it's synced with GitHub Actions or Azure DevOps pipeline so that you can seamlessly update, seamlessly do, seamlessly uh, be agile to be precise, be agile with your workflow. What are its key features? Now, just think, what can be the key features? The key features, one, it's globally distributed web hosting. That's pretty obvious because we are deploying it. So obviously anyone who has the internet connection can access it. Second, it has integrated API support. As I told you with Azure Functions, you can integrate APIs. Next, whenever there's a change in your repository, it triggers built-in deployment. So that's pretty great. But the two things that we didn't talk about, one is free SSL certificate. So you are getting free SSL certificate that proves your security in the backend and you get the encryption code. And also you have unique preview URLs for previewing pull requests. So suppose there's a pull request, then you can automatically get what will be the website, check the changes that it's making, and it's not breaking anything, instead of cloning it and again checking it, and deploy it and accept the changes. When you accept it, again it gets redeployed. So your works get very easy. Now, these are some of the benefits that Azure Static Web App has to offer you. One more benefit is if you're using it for just development purpose or for innovating anything, you can use it for free. It has a free tier also. And you can use custom domain, you can use networking, you can use like permission access, like IAM policies in it. That's some extra features added on it. Now, we need a web framework that we have built, and we will be building one of our website and hosting it live using Azure Static Web Apps. Let's go to the demo. So here's the code. Let it just so it's hosted in a repository that I've created for this particular session. If you want, you can just scan this QR code. You can just scan this QR code in case you wish to get this particular repository. It's a very simple website, I know, but just for demo purpose. So you can scan this. Okay, moving on. I hope it's loaded. So I'm using GitHub Codespace again, as you saw in my last session, because I personally prefer it. And I've not installed anything right now, so that you get a vibe like how do I go about using Azure in VS Code, how to go about using Azure Static Web Apps through VS Code, and much more. Creating a resource group, creating a local server, everything that's there that you can manage. That's there in the process. So as you can see, it has loaded. So this is a simple website, as you can get it through this particular thing. Now let's run it. This way. So let me just open it. So what you can do is like this is the website which says welcome innovators. Feel free to browse more resources. When you click on it, it automatically centers it, which is not correct right now. And when you click on it, it will redirect to tons of resources of Azure that you can use to build anything that you can imagine. So you get everything out here in the form of cheat sheet and resources, which you can use for building anything that you want. So now suppose I want all of you to get this particular application. What should I do? So we'll deploy it. How to deploy it? The first step, go to extensions. First, you need an Azure subscription. That's important. So you need to remember that. Now let's type in Azure out here in the extensions tab. And you will get Azure account, click on install. Next up, type Azure Static Web Apps. Click on install in code space. This will also get installed. And these are the only two things that you need. You will get this icon which says Azure. So click on this. And as I've logged into my GitHub and its code space, I didn't have to log into my Azure portal like Azure subscription, but you might need to. So just get that sign in one and your work will be done. Now, next up, these are my two subscription, which you can see out here. Now, what do I need to do to get my Azure Static Web App? Click on this plus icon. Click on what should I do? Resource group or static web app? Let's first create a resource group. So click on create resource group and let's type in global AI bootcamp 2024. Now let's choose a location. I'm just choosing Central US just for now. I can't open it in this one. I need to do it in this. So let's go to Central US. And as you can see, it's creating a resource group. So what is a resource group? I hope you've got it, but still, in case you haven't, resource group is a place where all the resources are stored. Now, click on this plus icon and click on create static web app. Now you need to type a name for your static web app. So I'm just typing Global AI Bootcamp for now. You need to choose a region where all your files will get stored. You need to choose it nearest to your customers. So I'm just choosing Central US for now. Now, suppose it's using a particular framework, okay, and it has a preset configuration. You can choose it from here in the list, or in case it doesn't, it has a custom one, you can choose by custom. Now, again, it's a simple HTML page, so I'm just choosing HTML. Now, you have the location of your application. So what happens is sometimes the application code, like in case of React or Next.js, like it's in an app folder. But in our case, it's in our normal folder because it's a simple website. And just press enter. Next, in case you have the build folder, like a place where your build gets stored, like in case of React or Next.js, it's a build folder to type that location. But in our case, it's not exactly, it's not anything like that. So you can press enter and that's it. So as you can see, it's creating the static web app. It's executing git pull. And next, if you go to open actions in GitHub, as I told you, we have GitHub Actions or Azure DevOps integrated through it. It will run a workflow for us. It says there are no workflows, but it will have one. Just let me refresh and you can see it has a workflow, which we can look into by clicking on it and click on build and deploy jobs so that we can see the each step that is going in the backend. And as you can see, it's almost ready. It's just doing the finishing the upload and pulling on deployment and now running the post run operation. Now it says I can visit my site at this. Let's click on it and have a look. it's deployed. So anyone who wants the access now can go to this particular link, which let me just make it easy for you. Scan this QR code and get to that website. Pretty cool. It's very easy, right? You don't have to do a lot of task for it. And similarly, if I make any changes, again it will run action and the work will be done. But where is that file which I had to create? It's here in GitHub Workflows. So GitHub Workflows is the place where you need to write a YML file so that your GitHub action can work seamlessly. As you can see, it has that on this particular options. You need to run this jobs, and if you know how to write it, you will get it. Same with the application API location that we had put previously out there. It's there, and the GitHub secret token. Cool. Now, is there anything more that I get it through Azure Static Web App? Yes, you get it. So let's go out here to our resource book to check it out. So as you can see, you are getting that get started option. Like you can get add a custom domain, you can enable enterprise create, right? Or upgrade your hosting plan. It's currently free in which it's running. If you want to monitor how it's going, you can click out the request as you can see out here and the data out, the function hits in case it's using Azure functions and the function errors. Next, if you want to check out the code, you can click on it and it will redirect to the code which it gets from it. In case you want to again configure it, you can configure it by clicking on the configuration option. In case you have some environment variables that your application is using that stored in .env file, you can just go to environment variables and set it out there. Just a name and the value, like key value pairs. You can choose in production like out here the environment in case you have multiple environments, which you can create by going to environments option. In case you want to enable app insights, you need to add an HR function. You can get application insights. You can use custom domain to get your own custom domain, like click on add and get the custom domain through Azure DNS or the DNS provider. You can integrate APIs like Azure functions through it. Next up, environments. I told you, you can keep the hosting plan. You can change the hosting plan from here, which is 748 provider per month. Uh, you can get private endpoints too, logs you can add in. If you want to automate it, you can get the code from here. That's it. You get pretty much everything out there using Azure Static Web Apps. And I see it's a lot for today. So let's move to a summary for now. And I'm pretty sure you liked what it is for like Azure Static Web App on how you can deploy it. And you will obviously say this that my dad says the cloud is answer to everything. Yes. And therefore you should not write, but you might write cloud. Yes, but cloud is the answer to everything, and especially Azure, which I personally prefer because of its things up there. Now you can go and build a shopping list web app for anything that you want. You can get some additional resources, as you can see. Like if you get the PPT, just check out the additional resources. Uh, and next up, in case you like the workshop or have any feedback for me to improve, please scan this QR code and give me your valuable feedback. I'd be happy to improve or make some changes which are necessary. And for the resources, in case that website stops working, you can scan this QR code and get it out. It redirects you to the same OneDrive folder. And thank you for attending today's session. Hope you liked it. Harshavardhan Bajoria out.
Thank you very much. Great session. Really appreciate it. So thank you very much to everybody for attending this Global Azure 2024 session, and brought to you by Gimme Cloud Talks and Captain Hyperscaler. And thank you, Harshvardhan, for providing the great content and providing 2 sessions to this year's event. So we really appreciate it. And thanks, everybody. Again, look at globalazure.net for your, for any other sessions, any other user groups around the world. It's going on April 18th, 19th, and 20th of 2024. Many of the sessions are also being recorded and being put up on the user group YouTube channel, just like ours. So you have enormous amount of content that you can reach into. So with other than that, I want to thank everybody and tell everybody to have a great rest of your day and enjoy the rest of Global Azure. Thank you very much.